Hello, welcome to the one. Sorry, welcome. Welcome to the 199 Unlisted podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes.
Hello.
Um, I'm just laughing because Anna has a new video. That's why I'm laughing, and that's why I got distracted. Just nothing else going on. I'm just laughing because I can't wait for the shit show that we're about to watch. I'm sorry. Haven't even started and I can't compose myself. Okay. Anna has a new video. This is my favorite person to react to on YouTube. Her video is called 2 Years in Atlanta. Men, Power, and Darkness in the Music Industry. I tell it all. Okay. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm sure it's going to be good. We're going to watch this together. Let's see what she has to say. Oh my God, it's an hour long. It's going to be a good one.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This video, it'll be... Honestly, it's not even going to be that much happier than the last one, but I think
The last video was horrible. She was crying. Okay? So I don't know what she's talking about, but okay. Anyway.
it'll be more informative. I went to Chick-fil-A today, and it was the nice Chick-fil-A. And the last time I was there, I met this man, and he was telling me all about how he made his first million by stealing domains. I think I made a video on this already, but basically he stole the domain.
You know, I think when a man you just meet starts telling you how he made his first million, I think he's trying to get into your pants. I don't think he's telling the truth. I'm just saying.
For one of I believe it was the Olympics. It was either the Olympics or the Super Bowl. I don't remember. And then he took all the social media sites and then sold it back. And that's what he does. He just sits on website names and then sells it back to the company. And we were having that discussion, and I just remember him telling me that dancing was the lowest thing someone could do because it was selling your body. And then I thought it was kind of weird because he was out here taking people's dream businesses.
You're retarded. The sex industry. I'm trying to think okay, the lowest industry you could be in is kidnapping or being a hitman. Okay. But then after that, it is the sex industry. So yes, your industry sucks. Being a person who buys up websites, domain names, and then sells them to companies that need them, that is honest work. I've actually known people who are set for life because during the what did they call it, the web boom or whatever, the .com boom, whatever, where people were just buying up domain names. Yeah, I was friends with a guy who's actually set for life right now because he bought up a bunch of domain names and then companies paid him a lot of money. That's honest work. So better than being a whore.
And selling them. But I was sitting in that Chick-fil-A, and I've been thinking a lot about music recently because I've gone through so much with it, and it was the reason I came to Atlanta in the first place, and I've quit it so many times without formally saying I quit it, but I really have quit it a lot. And I had the idea of going through all of my false starts and bad things happening afterwards just over the last 2 years. Because I'm 25 now. I came to Atlanta when I was 23. I just turned 25.
Did she have to pause to figure out what was 25 minus 2? Just saying. Did she have to pause? I think she did. That's all you need to know about this girl.
No, I came when I was 22, and I would have just turned, so 22. And I just turned 25.
Wait,
so
wait. Okay, never mind. Because, you know, 25 minus 2 is 23, but she said 2 years. Okay,
That
whatever.
came like less than 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
But I wanted to explain why it is so hard to make it in music as a woman, because you always hear about people talking about the
As a
difficulty of
woman,
making it in music and then, like being screwed over in their deals, just having so many people to compete with. But I want to bring you a woman's perspective. And not only a woman's perspective, but somebody who moved to a new city all by themselves with no family backing, no safety net, no money. I had
so she's a woman complaining about being an adult. Usually, when you move to anywhere, you're doing it on your own. You know, you don't have backing because you're just an adult doing adult things. And I know a little bit about the music industry. There is no difference between a man trying to make it in the music industry or a woman trying to make it in the music industry. The music industry is a business. So if the label, the producer, whatever, thinks you can make money, they're going to sign you. They're going to promote you. They're going to, invest in you. So if you look at the current music industry, like the mainstream music industry, who makes the most money? It's been female artists who have made the most money. If Taylor Swift was a boy, whatever, Tom Swift, and he was just as popular, or I'm sorry, had the same songs, they would have signed him because they want to make money. They don't care about the person's gender, But she has a victim mentality. But whatever.
like two friends at the time, three, that I left in Texas. Like I started from ground zero, and I went through so much with men and the business, and I wrote down like my
I'm shocked it wasn't in crayon. I'm shocked.
most pivotal moments as to why it has been so hard. Because people say it, but they don't really live it, and I'm here to tell you. We're gonna start off with my very first open mic that I had when I came to Atlanta,
Oh Lord.
and the place actually closed down now. Funny enough, I think it was
That's how bad she was. The place closed down. That says a lot.
called like it was. There's two of them. There's like blue something something and then red something something in Buckhead, and the red something something where it was held, and then they shut it down. You'll know what I'm talking about. If you live here, you know what I'm talking about. But I went to an open mic there, and it was hosted by, let me not say the wrong thing, one of the radio stations hosted it, and it was a competition, and I sang there, and I sang Inventing Anna. It went well, but I didn't win anything. And I thought it was weird because the person who won, she was homeless.
Stop. Stop. She's full of shit. She does things every half an hour of like viewing time that just makes me go, this person is full of shit. But okay. She was homeless. Okay.
And, well, this is gonna. Whatever the fuck. I had no money either, okay? I wasn't homeless, but I had no money, and I wasn't like projecting to everyone that I had no money. And that was actually part of the reason, too, that I started even trying to strip, because I was running out of money, and then I was like, oh god, if I'm gonna do all these open mics, I'm not gonna be able to afford it with what I'm working with. And that was one of the reasons too why I ended up, because I had it in my head, I'm gonna strip for 6 months, this is gonna be over, I'm gonna have a bunch of money, and then I'll be able to go to these open mics, and I'm just gonna become famous overnight. And
That is a horrible plan. That sounds like those women that were like, yeah, I was gonna do porn for like 2 months, and then it's like 14 years later, and they're like the MILF. That's what Lisa Ann did.
and it really bothered me at that open mic, because I felt like they were just picking her out of pity, and they were saying like crowd reactions, but I felt like it was I didn't have nobody with me. How was I going to have a crowd reaction? um,
Maybe it'd be
but this
good.
is the important part. So I walked out with one of the radio people, and he had blue eyes, and he would have been handsome if he wasn't a creep. And he walked me back to my.
That's every guy to every girl. He would have been handsome if he wasn't a creep. That's the difference between flirting and sexual harassment. The woman finds a guy attractive. That's it.
Car, and then he asked me if I could drive him back to his car. And I thought, like, why not? Like, he did me such a favor to walk me here. So then I let him come in my car and we drive, and then we park in the parking lot behind the building. And then he's just talking, and he's like berating me, telling me about how there's so many singers that moved to Atlanta, and why am I any different? Why would I even make it? And at that time, I was keeping my gun in my glove compartment.
Oh my god.
And now, well, I can't tell people where. My gun is a lot closer to me than it was, and it was.
I think this is her way of saying she carries a gun on her, but she doesn't have a concealed carry permit, but she has a gun on her. I think that's why she said that.
Was on the passenger side. And I had to yell at him 3 times to get out of my car, scream at him. And he like reached over and was touching my arm and all this shit. And he was older than me. I was like 22. And he had to be at least like late 30s, early 40s. And then.
Yeah, who cares if he was older than you? He could have been younger than you. He was a guy. A 14-year-old boy is stronger than you. A 14-year-old boy could beat our ass. So it doesn't matter that he was older or younger. He was a guy.
Then it was wild too, because he DM'd me over Instagram maybe 6 months ago, and then I told him everything he did to me, and that I even like had to switch the position of my gun now because I knew I couldn't get my gun to shoot him because it was on the other side of my car, and that's where he was. And he like denied everything, and then I blocked him. And he was trying to be like, oh, I'm all love. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. You're all lust. There is no love. But that.
You're a stripper. So what are you? Just saying, what are you?
That was my introduction to to Atlanta. And I did a lot of open mics in that time period. Nothing really came of it until January. I will get there. In November, that was when I went on American Idol, and I made it all the way to the celebrity round. It's really frustrating too, because I like told somebody about that recently, and then they were trying to pull it up on the internet, and all you have on the internet is videos of me talking about it. Going wrong. But you're welcome to look at that video if you'd like. The biggest thing about that was not only I didn't make it because Katy Perry asked me if I would dance to Dark Horse, and then I laughed at her, and then it just went downhill from there. But then.
Oh, because she probably told them she was a stripper. I mean, I didn't watch her American Idol thing. But, okay, she probably told him she's a stripper, and then Katy Perry goes, can you dance to Dark Horse? I don't know what Dark Horse is. I'm assuming it's a Katy Perry song, but I'm assuming it sucks because it's Katy Perry. So I would have laughed too, but anyway.
And my friend's manager, he was trying to get me back to his hotel room, and I ran like 2 miles in the night to get away from him and go back to my hotel room because I was in downtown Nashville, and I didn't even trust an Uber driver to pick me up. But you're welcome to look at that story too. And that same person too. Like, I remember him opening his wallet and telling me how different people were motivated by different things. And he had a family and everything. So that was November of 2020.
Notice no story she has involving a man is good. I wonder if that's because she's a stripper.
2023. Then in January came, and I sang at the Trap City Cafe I love that place. There's nothing bad I can say about that place. And I had red hair at the time, and this guy who was a producer for T.I. and T.I.'s manager both saw me sing. And the producer was telling me how he wanted to get in the studio with me and how we were going to make all this happen, but then the producer ended up flying to New York for whatever reason, and we kind of lost contact over the next 3 weeks. But he was just saying all this shit about how I see that you're going to be a star.
Do you really think that was T.I.'s producer? Or do you think it was just a guy trying to get into her pants? I think it was just a guy trying to get into her pants.
I have the vision. And nothing happened with that. I can't really say anything negative about that. I love that place. I've gone back to sing there a lot, and the DJ there, he's great. DJ Cookbook, amazing. Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about that. It was a letdown, though, not hearing back from that person. Then in February, so January, February, and I was working at Cheetah from November all the way until I believe the end of April, beginning of May. And I was around all of these famous people too. And the whole time I was at Cheetah, I just had this extreme level of delusion that I was going to make it. Even after the American Idol thing too, I didn't know they weren't going to air me. So I thought, even though it went horribly and I was traumatized by it, I knew it was going to make good TV. I knew that would be a viral moment for me if they hadn't have not aired me. Like, and I was literally counting down the days until it aired, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be famous. But
When she hits 27, 28, she's going to realize that she's not going to be famous, and she should probably try to live a normal life and maybe stop stripping, maybe try to have kids. See, like she's still at that phase where she thinks she's gonna be in this whatever era for the rest of her life. Like it's a lot of the stuff she's doing is based on her looks. And it doesn't matter who you are. The wall starts at 25 for the average woman. It definitely hits at 30. And she's going to have a rude awakening because what's going to happen is guys are going to stop lying to her and saying, "Oh, hey, I'm T.I.'s producer," and they're just going to ignore her. And then she's going to be like, "Hey, how come no one's giving me any attention?" And then it might be too late to settle down because she'd be damaged goods.
they never aired me. I was like, is this the price I have to pay? Like, making fun of myself? February came. That's when I met the man who would rape me, and then I would have to have an abortion from it. And he...
Now, we did that video. That was a client she was dating, and they broke up. And after they broke up, she said he raped her.
said he owned this big record label, but it wasn't big. The LOC had been dissolved a year before. Like, it was all lies. But because I was in the environment of Cheetah and I was around all these celebrities coming all the fucking time, I met Jack Harlow, Tyler the Creator, Summer Walker, other people I don't really remember. But I was meeting all these people, so when someone told me something, I believed them. And I was very green. Like, at that time, I was 23. And I don't think I would have been lured in by him if he hadn't had the music entry. Like, he even had this huge chain on him, and it said Family First. And that was supposed to be the name of his
Oh, God.
record label.
I bet you if you saw the chain, it was like plastic.
But yeah, I had to leave Cheetah because of that, because they didn't believe me. And then 6 months later, I would make a police report in the Special Victims Unit of downtown Atlanta. And then I would try to file a, restraining order twice. And they never took the time to go find him. And then I was dating a millionaire at that point,
Sure.
and he got me a lawyer to sue Cheetah, but I didn't go through with that. And after the rape,
You didn't go through with it because it was all bullshit.
I didn't sing for almost a year. And I thought I was gonna go to law. And I turned around and it's not funny, but like my rebound rate is just in June I was studying for the LSAT. And I took the LSAT in October.
Yeah, you remember when she was going through that phase where she was like, I'm going to be a lawyer, and we all laughed our ass off? Yeah, that was special.
November, and I got a 145 on it. I was preparing to go to Georgia State. I was looking at apartments in downtown Atlanta, and I thought I was going to study entertainment law in Atlanta and in Georgia State. And then when I went to court to get the restraining order against him, they filed it incorrectly, and they put me, instead of seeing him as a complete stranger, they were seeing him as like my boyfriend. And I had a victim advocate and everything, and they just didn't take the time to go through my case. And I was told to write a testimony, so I wrote 12 pages detailing everything he did, detailing the harassment of him, because he didn't leave me alone. He kept going back to the club. And then his friends, who still to this day come to the club that I've been at, that I'm trying to leave. To this day, I still come.
I don't care. A stripper complaining about men that are regular customers. I mean, I don't know what to say. Okay.
saw one of his friends last week. But yeah, the judge made fun of me in front of the whole court, and then asked like, why did I give her my diary? And I was supposed to take my second LSAT too. I think it was that weekend actually that she made fun of me. And most humiliating thing. And I stood up, and well, I was already standing, and then I said I had been raped and I had to have an abortion.
Just because you say it doesn't mean it's true.
Like the way she treated me, I didn't even want to like deal with the law school thing after that. Like it was too much. And I was trying to get the restraining order too, because his friends kept coming to the club back to back.
She's retarded. That's okay.
I hit one of them in the head a month
They need a restraining order against her.
ago. Okay, during that summer as well. Oh god, that's horrible. After the abortion, I was so angry at everything, and I had a project, and I just released it. Like probably a month after. And then that summer too, while I was studying for law, I think it was right before I studied for law. I think that's what happened. Right before.
Can you believe that this moron was going to be a lawyer? Do you remember the first video where she said that, and I think I laughed for 5 minutes, and I was like, give this like 3 months, she's going to give up on it. I mean, I totally called it, but come on. This is why certain people do need other people in their life. She does need family in her life, because her family would have told her, what are you doing?
I got asked to be a artist resident at a studio that was owned by Quality Control, and one of the waitresses too at my current club, she was asked to do it as well. But the thing, it was so disorganized, and this is probably stupid of me, but because I was already working nights, so I guess I was still at Cheetah when this happened. Because I was working nights,
if I remember correctly, isn't this when they were trying to get you to be a call girl? That's what the story sounded like. Like, her lore is amazing because you have to translate the story she tells. But you know, because you've been watching.
Wanted to go there from 12 a.m. and work until 4 a.m. And the reason I did that as well was because that was the last slot. so I could work all the way until 6 a.m. if I wanted to. But it was the men in charge. It was just inappropriate. Like, one of them was fine. The other one, the engineer guy was great. The other one, I forget his name. It was like nah something. And I just remember him telling me about his cheating problem he had, and then him telling me about his girlfriend not knowing he was there, and then it just, I just felt like, and he never touched me or did anything weird, but it just felt very unprofessional to me. And I'm very aware that I'm a dancer, but I've been around people that still make it professional. And even if it's not professional, it's on a friend level. I don't have this weird feeling that you're gonna try and fuck me. Especially when you have a girlfriend. So there was.
She's a moron. I mean, in real life, I've interacted, have known, have been acquaintances with strippers, and the last thing on my mind was doing anything sexual with them because all of them are hookers. I mean, maybe not when they first start, but you give it enough time.
Was that whole thing. Um, my friend left. She's not really my friend. I think she's low key jealous of me. I don't talk to her. But she left, and then I was
Everyone's
about
jealous
to
of you.
leave, but then I was like, hold on, let me wait this out. And then two, my other friend, she was the one who got me into it initially, and she told me about the opportunity, and that's how they got me, because it was word of mouth. And the studio too, it was like there was a children's home down the street, and they were trying to put all these after school programs as a children's home, and then they were trying to get grants for
Were they Somali? Because if they were, it's not real.
that. And then they were doing the artist resident program too. I forget how many artists they had. I think it was a lot. But it was like the top part of the
3,000.
studio, and it was built on the hill, and then the major part downstairs. Apparently Drake records there.
Oh my god, like how the only thing she does is name drop. She's she's met everyone. This video is she is 16 minutes into this video and she's name dropped 17 people. And half of them were lying to her to get into her pants.
So that's cool, I guess. I never went down there. There was a door. I thought about going down that door. I never did, though. Um, but yeah, I was going to leave, and then I just got this email one day telling me that I was no longer, like, I couldn't be there, that they didn't want me there anymore. And after that, I got upset at everyone. Oh, yeah, that was two. Fuck, I forgot about that guy. There was another guy who was like the head of everything, and he actually worked with quality control, and he was doing the same thing, like just doing passes at me. And it's like,
Okay, if this is true, do you understand that you got hired there because they wanted to sleep with you? You remember, like, she got hired to work in a music studio, and it was just everyone there was hitting on her. You don't understand that's why you were there. They were just trying to find a girl who would sleep with them on a regular basis, and if you did, they would have kept you on. And then apparently you didn't sleep with anyone, so they fired you. Didn't I say that like back on the first video when she was the resident at this recording studio? Because it made no sense, because I've heard her sing. I've seen her videos. She's not that good. Now granted, I'm a musician, so I don't know what a non-musician hears when she sings. They probably think she's good, so that's whatever. But in my professional opinion, she's not a good singer.
it's like, can't I just be a product to you? Like, can't I just be a beautiful, talented product to you?
Hey, calm down there, miss. Calm down. Okay? The narcissism, I can't take it.
Like, do you have to, like, sexualize me for yourself?
Yes,
Um,
yes, I do.
yeah,
Yes,
so
I
after
do.
that, went into the law thing. I did work for a lawyer for
Yeah, you worked for a lawyer for a couple of weeks, and then when you wouldn't fuck him, he let you go. Come on.
a year. I interned for him.
Wait. A year? Was it a year? Nah, no, it was not a year. That's a that's a tall tale. It was not a year. I remember because her trying to be a lawyer, that was maybe 4 videos. Okay, whatever.
And that was cool. I met him at the strip club.
Yeah, exactly.
He was great though. I have no complaints about that. He always said that he didn't want me to tell him where we met, but I mean, since I don't work for him anymore, doesn't matter. Then in April of this last year, March of this last year, I met a boyfriend, and I was with him for like 2 months. The reason, oh God, he was very.
First of all, he wasn't a boyfriend. He was a guy who slept with her on a regular basis. Because name one normal man who wants a girlfriend who works in the sex industry. I'll wait. Think of everyone you know. How many people do you know that are normal, men, women, who would date someone, marry someone, whatever, who works in the sex industry? None.
Very talented. He was a producer. Very, very talented. He was working with what's that guy's name? There was this one major artist he was working with, and he
Sure.
would always sell that guy beats, and he would get paid like $2,000 for his beats through that guy.
That's actually not a lot.
I remember one time too, I made a sell for him because I was pissed at him because he was supposed to be with me, and instead it was like 4 a.m. He calls me, and his neighbor came over, and his neighbors, it was a dad and a daughter, and then I was going off on him, and I was mad at him because he didn't go to the major artist. He was supposed to see him that night, and he was supposed to make a beat and sell it for him,
That sounds
and he didn't. And then I
that sounds like a meth story. That totally does not sound normal. But okay, sure.
was yelling at him on the phone, and I was like, if you have this type of person like on your line, like, why would you not be there? And then I think I mentioned too how much it cost, or it was just the person. I was really talking him up, and because of that, the dad heard everything, and he bought his beat. I think it was for like 2,000, like right there too. That was me. That was me going off on him. But he was great. I was with him for 2 months. He was sweet. He got me back into singing because he was talking just about how talented I was and that I didn't know. And it's not that I don't know. It's that I went through all this shit right now. And this is halfway through the list. I'm not done yet. And that was within a year and a half. And this is April 2024 we're in now. But that boyfriend, he got me back into singing, and he was just telling me that I didn't know how talented I was at it and that I could go so far with it. And his words were giving me life. So then I started going back out and performing again, and I kind of felt like shit because my last album, it was like a year old, and I had a goal of putting out a new project every year, and I couldn't.
Dude, when a person like her says my last album, come on, man. Jesus. Oh my god. So so just anyone's putting out albums like what's going on? Really? That's just too much. That's just too much. Trying to think. I mean, like, I've put out albums, but you're not gonna hear me talk about it like that. I don't know. Whatever.
I did not sing for a year. Not in the car, not in my home, nowhere. I didn't
Bullshit.
think I was going to sing again
Bullshit.
because of the rape. Um, but the producer. Oh yeah, so then I started trying, and I told myself, let me do. I think it was one open mic a week. So I was doing one open mic a week, and then by the third week I did it. I did it for this studio, and I ended up getting hired at the studio. And at that time, there was a girl who left, and it was kind of confusing because they wanted two roles for me at that studio. Um, they wanted me to host the open mic and just do like a lot of paperwork back end stuff, but then they also wanted me as an artist. So I that caused a lot of problems later because I was split between two roles. Um, but I ended up going to work for them, and I was there 3 4 days a week. It was a lot. But when I got hired there, my boyfriend at the time, I got hired there. Then his best friend got drafted into the NFL. And that was my first time ever experiencing an NFL draft. I never knew anything about like I think the 5 different levels, and I believe his friend was on like the level 5, which is great. Like you get paid. Like it's an amazing opportunity to even be there. And I remember like telling someone about it, and they were talking shit about it only being level 5, and it's like,
Why is every story she have it involves someone's famous or like someone adjacent to someone famous or I mean these are some tall tales.
you can do it. Um, but because of that, it was like he was mourning his best friend while I was with him. And at that very end, because things were going well with me singing, and his best friend went to the NFL, he just couldn't handle it. And he was jealous. Like, the way he talked to me was so disrespectful. And it was because he saw me at like this low level when he first met me. And then I went like this in a matter of 2 months. Because that studio I worked for, it was all of, uh, it was, there was an artist manager there who's now facing life in prison.
Oh God. What, what the fuck? Dude. Why is nothing normal with her? Like what? Jesus. Dude. I don't know what to say. My boyfriend's best friend got drafted. The music studio I worked for, the owner's now in a life prison. Whatever it is, it's so bullshit.
I don't even give a shit anymore. Like, who the fuck am I protecting? I'm not protecting anybody. He's facing life in prison for distribution of fentanyl and coke.
What? You don't get life in jail for that. That's bullshit. You don't get life in jail for distributing fentanyl unless they change the law. But I'm pretty up to date on my favorite hobby.
And he was connected with Quavo's people. And so I went from here to here in a matter of like a month. And he couldn't handle it. And then it only lasted 2 months. And then I.
So you're a woman who quote unquote intimidated him, so he wasn't attracted to you anymore, or the truth is he was just tired of being with a stripper. I think that's what happened.
I was done with it. But he was in the beginning he was very sweet, and he lived an hour away, and he was driving an hour to come see me. He actually he left his great grandmother's funeral in Virginia. He like drove all the way up there. He left it to come back and have sex with me.
Because that's all you're good for. Okay, I think that's why I think that's why he broke up with her. Like, do you hear that laugh? I swear this girl's retarded.
But yeah, then I went to, and that was the other part too that was hard because once I worked for that studio, the artist manager I was just talking about, he wanted me so bad, and I was juggling the producer at the time that I was dating who was broke and lived an hour away, and he lived with his mother. And I'm sure he's going to be successful. There's no way he can't be successful. He was handsome, he was talented. But speaking from a woman's perspective, I'm already working hard. Like, I can't. I,
Instead of saying speaking from a woman's perspective, you should say speaking from a whore's perspective. And I don't care about that perspective.
I, it's not stable. So it was him, and then it was the artist manager, and the artist manager knew that.
Dude, a stripper talking about stable blows my mind. Like, she's gotta be trolling. Really? You're a stripper. And you're talking about stable. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am waiting for her to put out a video and she's really an actress that lives in the Hamptons and she's like, I've been I don't know, method acting, and I'm in a movie that's coming, like I'm expecting that because she says stuff that's just off the cuff, tall tales. I just don't believe it. And if this is a real person, I'm sorry.
I had a boyfriend at the time, and I left him, and then the
Sure.
artist manager was
Sure.
there,
Sure.
and I don't want to say too. I'm not gonna say too much. I have a lot of respect for him.
Sure.
There are some things I'm still very pissed at,
Mhm.
and I was around him for 4 months, 5, 4, about 4. Um, and being in that environment really made me believe in myself again. It was hard because I was one of two women. It was the studio owner's wife, me, and then just a bunch of men, and I was the only white person there.
Okay, that must suck.
And no one knew how to refer to me because I was put in two boxes. They wanted to make a bunch of money off of me. They also wanted to sign me to a record label. They ended up making a record label. Oh, that was the other thing too. When I worked for the QC studio, a year prior, they wanted to do distribution deal as well. So by the time I got to the studio, this was my third time at like some form of a record deal and it not working. And they even went to the bank and started their own record label.
I don't believe any of this. I just don't. I can't picture a serious, I guess, startup record label signing her to put out music. I mean, that is the tallest of tall tales. I mean, who does anyone believe that I mean, come on. God, it was like I forget the year, man. It was like like in the late '90s, early 2000s. I was in a popular LA band in the LA music scene. Now, I don't know what you think the LA music scene means, but it's a lot smaller than what you think it is. But anyway, I was in a band that was in the LA music scene. People knew who the band was. I actually got recognized when I was, walking around LA, whatever. You can make your own record label. It's pretty easy. You just need a piece of paper and you make an LLC. Okay, it's just paperwork. It's not that hard. And when it comes to like getting a loan from a bank to make a record label, you don't need that. You just need it's really so easy. You need a piece of paper because the taxes are different. So like for the tax purposes, you have to make a business. So you make an LLC. This is blah 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 record label. You don't need a bank loan. So I don't know what she's talking about. And then the distribution, you don't need a bank loan to do distribution. So they were lying to her. Distribution means, okay, I'm the artist, okay? So I write songs. The record label signs me. The only way the record label can mass produce my music is if they own parts of the copyright and parts of just the music, because it's like I wrote the music, but now they want to mass produce the music. So you can't mass produce something that you're not a part of. So the record label usually gets 30% of the copyright or distribution, what like they get the right to push the music out. So that's the distribution, but basically they get like 30%. Okay? And so you don't need a bank loan for that. And then like to make the actual CDs, that doesn't cost, it costs money, but you can like mass produce a CD you make. Oh, especially now, but I'm talking like 20 years ago. You can make, I mean, you can make like 5,000 CDs for, I know that's a small number, but I'm just saying for a small amount, like for like $1,000. And so if you're going to like be on a major label, okay, well then, you're talking 30,000 CDs, and the price gets lower to mass produce them. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is the what she's talking about, the people were lying to her. Okay? I can mass produce CDs in my garage. I don't need a bank loan. So I don't know what she's talking about. Okay? And I was in the outside of the music industry. Like I wasn't signed to a major label. I got major label interest, but I'm just talking about being a regular guy on the outside making your own stuff. So I don't know what she's talking about. But anyway, whatever.
I don't want to say because of me, but I feel like it was because of me. But I didn't feel like I was doing all the back end stuff, so I really didn't feel like they had the capabilities to really develop an artist. And I mean, maybe develop an artist, but not to push an artist out there. Like, you could argue they had the connections for it and they could figure out how to get it done. But when I was there, it just didn't feel like the infrastructure was there for me to be signed to them for several years. And the downfall of it was really the wife. And some other people, because the studio owner, I love him so much, so much. He did so much for me. I'm really trying not to name names. I hate naming names.
Dude, like, wasn't like 2 videos ago, like, she was putting out like people's business like nothing? Like, putting out people's addresses. I love how she picks and chooses, like, when not to say too much. But seriously, she's a stripper. She needs to shut the fuck up. When it comes to talking about other men who are married and she's dealing with them, I don't know what the hell she's doing.
Unless they're famous. Sorry.
I know,
But
right?
he did so much for me. But his wife got jealous towards the end.
Bullshit.
The other people were there that got jealous towards the end because I was recording songs for him. He wanted me to host this show that they were going to put on Tubi. And I was going to be the... But I just felt kind of weird about everything because I felt like the paperwork wasn't... this is neither here nor there. But yeah, everyone just got really jealous towards the end, and it was a hard environment to be around it. And then the wife turned on me, and she never wanted to be around me. And I saw her as a mother when I first got there, and it was like she was competing with her husband for attention. And oh, some point in there too, I started dating my the millionaire guy,
Oh
the one
God.
who got me the lawyer
I'm sure he was a millionaire.
the year prior. I started dating him because I was worried because I was around all these like just drug people, and I knew he was the only person that I knew that could handle all that for me because he managed artists as well. Never managed me, but he managed artists as well, and he was the only person that I knew in Atlanta that I felt like safe with, because that was a whole nother level. Like me telling you that somebody who at one point offered me money for a relationship, knew where I lived, at least the general area, knew where I worked, had access to my schedule. For that person to be in jail right now, facing life, and I was this close to getting caught up in that. This fucking close.
Don't believe you. Not by this much or that much. Don't believe you. I believe him offering you money for sex, but I don't believe anything else. These are some tall tales. If if she fake cries, I'm gonna lose it. Please, oh my god. She fake cried last video and I hurt myself laughing. Please don't fake cry. Please don't.
Anyways, I left. I left.
Bullshit. So, okay, he's gonna serve life in jail for selling or whatever, selling fentanyl. So, were you on the block? Like, what the fuck? Dude, I don't. If I'm a. Okay, let's just pretend I'm a drug dealer. I'm gonna have my stripper girlfriend help me. No. No. No, I'm not.
About a month before everything went down, there was one day too where he thought the FBI was following
Oh,
him,
God.
which they were.
No, they weren't. What's his name? Like, Cash Patel? What's his name? I don't know the FBI director's name. Is it Cash Patel? So, like, Cash Patel was trailing her. Retard.
It's not funny.
It's funny because it's not
And
true.
this is the trauma response. I'm sorry, it's not funny. And he left his phone in the studio while I was there, while the wife was there, and led them right back to us. And then he was like just not present for a week. He was just like, or at least a few days. He didn't have his phone. He was like, but they got him. So I mean, he was right, and he was the person who was supplying all the money into that studio. So everything fell apart after he.
Okay, if this was true, she wouldn't be saying all this. You wouldn't just be telling this information on YouTube. This is why I don't believe it. I've never been in trouble with the FBI, but if I was friends or adjacent to someone who was, I wouldn't talk about it.
Got locked up. And I've never, like, I've experienced people going to prison before, but I've never experienced, and especially the fentanyl charge, because I had a friend die from that, an overdose on fentanyl earlier this year. And that hurt me really bad to know that he was the same kind of person who would have caused.
Oh, God. Okay.
Friend to die, and my friend who died too, he was a rapper, and I was pissed at him when I first met him. I forget what happened. Like, we ended up being friends. Then I didn't like him because he did something. And then I made him pay me $20 to unblock him. And he was
What?
in rehab too.
What? She made him pay her $20 to unblock him. What is going? I believe that. What is going on? Who who does this? If anyone watching this has had a similar experience where you have paid someone to unblock you or you have charged someone to unblock them, can you please tell me what that's about? Because that's just weird.
He already had a drug issue and he was in rehab in the Bahamas. And then he came back and I saw him at the club and he wanted to go into the studio with me. He was planning to do a song with me before he died. And then he just died.
Because your story is bullshit. He probably doesn't even exist. So you're telling me the reason why she's not a famous rapper is because the rapper she was supposed to be on a track with died from fentanyl? Yeah, I just don't believe it.
And that was earlier this year.
Sure.
Um, yeah, it really hurt me though to hear, and people want to say that like it's not true and that whatever he was doing it wasn't that, but regardless of what drug it was a drug. And what I saw the money, I saw all the chains. Mine are fake. Mine are gladly fake, but I saw all this shit. Like, you don't just get that shit from, I mean, maybe music, but I fucking doubt it. And he had already spent like 10 years in prison and he went right back in. But that shit hurt. I don't even know if he was like
Is this like her acting real? There's just like too many bullshit stories.
capable of loving me,
Oh, God.
but
Really? Really? Really?
anyways, after that I left music.
Sure.
A producer ended up finding me through my club's Instagram. He was going through the following to see which girls were there. Damn, 30 minutes is gonna be a big upload. Whatever. I need watch hours. I have like 300 right now, and
Do you think anyone is going to watch this whole video other than me because I react to every video you post, but I don't think people are watching your videos. She has 811 subscribers. Over the last two videos I've reacted to, it's at the same amount. Now, once again, she has more subscribers than me. I'm not hating her on that. I'm just saying she's been stuck at 811 subscribers for a couple of weeks.
I'm almost at 1,000 viewers. And how the fuck am I gonna get to? It's fine. We're gonna do this. This producer found me, and I took a tour of his studio, and then I was dating this other guy at that time, and that guy was crazy, and I had given him my location, which
Yeah, but you're crazy though. You attract what you are.
was a big mistake. I don't know what to fuck him. But I went to the new producer, and I only went 3 times, and I wish I knew what I knew now, but working with him, it felt like a godsend because I finally got out of the environment, of the drugs and everything. And I was like, okay, here's somebody who values my talent, but he never valued my talent. He only wanted to work with me because he knew I was a stripper and because he knew where I worked.
Okay, what have I said? You will not attract quality people as long as you work in the sex industry. So you can be a great singer, but you'll attract better people if you're a great singer that works at Starbucks than a great singer that works at the Pleasure Chest. Okay? It's just how it is.
That was the only reason. And my dumbass was like, "Oh wow, he actually believes in me." And I am. He knew I was talented. He did believe I was talented, but he wanted to turn me into an Ice Spice, and he wanted me to twerk everywhere. But I didn't have a problem with it though, because the way he was selling it, it made sense. Even though my talent is better than that, the way he was picturing me being this like trap ballerina thing, and then I just twerk in the middle of doing ballet, and I was like, okay, I already do that. But the reason he was doing that, it wasn't. I mean, maybe because it was the videos, but he wanted to what is it? Have your cake and eat it too. And there was one night where I was with him, and it was like he broke me down so bad because he was saying that he wanted to take videos of me dancing in the studio. And it was supposed to be me dancing to my own songs, and I even brought this camera. And I mean, he has a video of his security camera footage of me splitting in the middle of his studio and doing like a handstand. But he wanted me to twerk on him. And there was an artist too who got signed at the studio I had been at prior, and I felt like she didn't work as hard and she was a lot less qualified than me. And he was just telling me in my head that like that happened because she wasn't afraid to dance, that all these people were just dancing and seeming, available, and that's.
I don't know. I mean, it's like she hasn't told one normal story or had a story that didn't have someone famous or someone who wants to sign her to a deal or someone who's not a producer or something like I don't know. I it's he wanted me to twerk on him. Well, okay, you're a stripper. You lose a certain level of respect when you work in the sex industry because there's too many people that work in the sex industry that have sex with everyone. It's not that hard.
He was trying to say that that's what it took. And he like broke me down so bad in my head and was trying to make it like the sexual thing was what made it work. Um,
Now, you know, I don't know about the sexual thing with him because he's not the audience, but usually when it comes to women in the music industry, if they have a large male audience, it's because the men want to sleep with that person. Look at Tate McRae. A lot of men like her, but it's not because of her songs. It's because she's half naked all the time and she's has a really smoking hot body. Crazy, right? Look at Sydney Sweeney. She's just an average actress. She acts like everyone else. It's not like she's like an Oscar quality actress. She's just an actress, but she does a lot of nude scenes. And so, most of the male population is heterosexual, like 99% of them. So why do you think men like her? Yeah, because she looks good naked. So I mean, it's not that hard.
and there was just moments where he touched me, and I felt so like repulsed too, but it really broke me. Like imagine somebody recording you, hearing your music, hearing your story, acting like they give a fuck, and then in the end, they're telling you, what do I need to do? Give you 100 ones so you'll dance? Because you say you only dance for money. somebody tell you that you're not going to make it unless if you do this, but you're not really doing it for you, you're doing it for them.
Well, at least you understand that much. Yeah, because you're not talented. You're a stripper.
For their own perverted, and then the whole time they're just talking shit about other men being perverted, and you're like, oh my god, he's on my side, and then he's not, and then he grabs your hair, and then he's fucking touching you, and then trying to hug on you, and you're there alone.
This is what I don't understand. She's a stripper, so she's dancing on strangers' laps all the time in the club, right? But then she's offended when someone else outside of the club wants that. That makes no sense. But okay, whatever.
In a studio with someone who you believed was going to take you to the next level.
That's on you. That's on you.
My camera just died, which is probably better because it was already at 35 minutes and that was going to take forever for the file to transfer. I was telling you about the producer. So after that, I was like, fuck this shit. I had gone back to Atlanta Ballet at this time too. And I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want to work with him no more. And I never told him why. It was upsetting too because here's some lore for you. He worked with this girl who I was on American Idol with 2 years ago.
Sure.
And I reached out to her too, telling her that I was working with him, and I was in a music video for her earlier this year. And the music video, they put a lot of money into that. And funny enough, the same people who produced it are the same people who produced the David video for him. Like they had a music video where he killed his girlfriend. I worked with the same film crew back in May of this year, I think. And he worked with her, and I had reached out to her, and I did another project for her too, which I never heard about what happened with that. And I only got paid like $50 to do that, and I was a background dancer, and I did like a drop split for them. I was wearing this outfit, and they were telling me I couldn't like post anything about doing that performance, but like I only got paid $50. I didn't sign shit, but I never posted anything, which is upsetting. I should go back and repost it. But I don't know what happened with that. And that was for Juicy 2X that I did that for. But her...
Juicy 2X? Let's see if this is a real person. Oh, it's a real person. Okay. Okay. So it's a real person.
video back in May that didn't go out either, but she worked with the same guy, and this guy produced the song for that video. And I reached out to her, and she never like got back to me, and I thought it was really odd at the time, and I just kind of brushed it off. But he probably made advances on her too, and that's why
Oh, God.
she stopped working with him. That's probably exactly why. I just wish she had told me. It would have saved me time instead of me wondering, like, this is weird. Why didn't you respond? And I mean, people get busy too, so maybe it was nothing. But and then again, it is something because she was watching my story like every day, and then I just hid my story from her because I felt weird about it. Because I thought maybe initially I thought like maybe she felt weird that I was working with her same producer, but then after he did what he did, I was like, oh my god. Then I was angry. I was like, fuck, you could have saved me from this. Like, what the fuck? What the fuckity fuck? Oh, and I was in a bunch of music videos this last year, but that was positive, so we're only talking about the negatives. It's really hard, too, to believe in yourself when you go through all of these experiences, and then also when you're around a bunch of artists and the spotlight is on them, because that's what I tend to do. I tend to like downplay my own stuff and just tell myself
You don't have any stuff. What are you talking about?
that is not the right time, because I'm I'm not sure it is the right time. I don't know when the right time is, but I do know all these lessons I learned that I wish I had.
Dude, she's learned zero lessons because she keeps telling the same story over and over. Every man that has tried to help her wants to have sex with her because she's a stripper. I don't know how to make this more simpler, easier to digest. Every man that she tells a story about, in the end, just wants to sleep with her. It's because she's a stripper. How do you fix that? Stop being a stripper.
I haven't learned them. Like, I wish I had had family support or a friend that was going with me to everything, but I didn't have that, so I made do with what I had. Um, it's made me very strong.
Sure.
But there's that one line Glorilla says, whoever they make the strongest is the weakest, there for when anybody needs it. Um, Also, too, right before I dated the producer boyfriend in April, I had a friend come from Orlando. I made a video about him too. And we became friends, I think, maybe last August. I don't know when he left. I don't know. He just became very entitled towards the end of our friendship, and I didn't want to be around it. But he also like was a big deal into like encouraging me and me getting back into music. And I hope he's good, but I just don't want to. I don't want to be around it. But it wasn't just that boyfriend that I had; it was him too, and he was just a friend, just a friend.
Sure.
Okay, so going back to the old producer, I left him, I think in September, October, and then I took a break from music again, and I was just like,
Okay, this is what I don't understand. She keeps saying I took a break from music. You're not famous. There's no one watching your music, listening to your music, buying your music. So the break is from you. I mean, that's like me saying, "Yeah, I take a break from music," but the only person who watches my music videos are me. The only person who listens to me play music is me. So it's not really taking a break cuz you're not out there. Now, it'd be different if like name someone famous, whatever band you can think of. I can only think of K-pop, so uh IVE. So like if the members of IVE were like, we're taking a break. Okay, well that's different because they've been on the charts. You've been in a bedroom. You don't count. You're not in the music industry. This is what people don't understand. You're not famous. So you're not in the industry. Like, no one is missing you. See, you've made it when people miss you when you don't produce material. Okay? I make YouTube videos. I can take a break, but I'm not really taking a break because no one watches these videos except me. So I'm not taking a break because, like, I'm not even a part of the system. But at least I'm not delusional where I think, oh, yeah, like, after people listen to Joe Rogan, they listen to me. That's her mentality. Stop.
fuck it, I don't want to focus on this right now. I just want to focus on getting my money, and that be it. And I think I went to one karaoke. That was fun. Tiger, I like them a lot. But I went to. I started dating this guy in November. I dated him for 3 weeks. He was a bodybuilder, but he had like, I don't know what the word is, body dysmorphia, and he like was doing really well on Instagram, like getting um, hundreds and thousands of views and then like millions of views, but he wasn't doing like that great. Like he had 5,000 followers, but then his views were so high, and I never really went into his content until after I left him. And It was because he was rage baiting everyone, and he was telling everyone how they were losers and how they needed to like work out and why women didn't want them. And it was probably his own rhetoric in his own head that he was like spitting out at everyone, but it worked. Yeah, he actually called me fat too. I didn't appreciate that.
I've called her fat how many times? Dozens of times. She looks fat. And I was surprised she was a stripper. Okay? Because I kept saying she's one sandwich away from the plus size section. It's true. I thought strippers were supposed to be skinny. She's not. She's normal.
Because I'm not fat, I'm thick. And he
So instead of being shaped like a beach ball, you're shaped like a basketball. Okay.
called me fat. I didn't like that. And he was big into getting me back into music as well, but it just turned to be this toxic thing because I remember we were in the car and I played my music for him and he was like, "Oh my god, this is actually like really good. Like you're better than Billie Eilish." And I was like,
A car that ran a red light and slams on the brakes, that's better than Billie Eilish. So I don't know what he's talking about. Don't feel special because someone says you're better than Billie Eilish, because she sucks.
like, "Really?" And he told me he would help me and that he would film music videos for me, but he was saying that I had to help myself too. And I was like, okay, like I don't think now is the right time, but I'm taking what you're saying seriously. And then it was like 2 weeks later, he comes to me, and this man was 33 at the time. Let me also say, too, his biggest red flag was us going to Chick fil A and him telling me that he couldn't afford Chick fil A until 4 years ago. It's Chick fil A. Like, he was always going to make me work in that relationship. He was not going to.
Yeah, I know nothing about Chick-fil-A. I have no idea if it costs a lot or not. I I don't think I've ever been. And if I have been, I didn't pay. I mean, I just don't remember. But anyway,
I'm glad he's gone. He had no sense of responsibility to take care of the women he was with.
why would you take care of a woman who's a stripper? See, you're missing the point. You're not a woman worth taking care of.
That's why. That's why it's better to date a medium ugly man. Because once you go for the attractive ones, they think they're the woman. Um, but yeah, it was like 2 weeks later, and he FaceTimed me, and he was telling me about how he wanted to create this music video, and he sent me an old song he did, and I was giving him very great instructions, and then we had that argument, and I didn't hear from him for like a couple days, and then I just cut him off completely and blocked him and told him why. But he got very upset, and I was telling him things that were true. He just couldn't handle it, and I was trying to help him, and I was telling him that I thought he should go more into the R&B route. That the like he could really be something serious and could really make it. And then I was telling him about the domains and how he needed a website and how like he should have his music in his bio because he needs something to sell, because there's you go to his Instagram bio and it's not leading you anywhere. And I got my degree in entertainment management. I studied this shit for like 3 years, and I was telling him all of this, and he took it so like personally, like the criticism really hurt him. And then he made his Instagram private and his TikTok private. It was honestly kind of scary. Like he couldn't take any of the shit I was saying to him. And I wasn't even saying it like out of malice. I was saying it because that's what I know. Like I would tell anybody what I was telling him. And his music wasn't that bad either. It wasn't like great, but it wasn't bad.
You know, her critiquing music means nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
Like I thought he had something serious, and he could sing too.
Sure.
Not like really well, but he could sing.
Oh God. What does that
But I
even
just felt like he
mean?
was trying to compete with me, and I was confused too. Why he had made me his project, and then he just kind of scrapped it and then wanted to make himself his own project. But there's nothing wrong with that. It was just a very strange, and then it was done. So I did leave him because I didn't hear from him, and then I was like, well, fuck you. Like, you're not gonna like silence treatment me as like some kind of punishment because I told you the truth. But yeah, there was him. Then after that, I was like, fuck the music. And then I recently started dating this, well, yeah, I guess I can say that. Dating, I mean, there's somebody new. And
Man, your body count is pretty large for a year. You shouldn't. I don't know.
he's also doing music. And it really inspired me to go back into it because I'm not doing fuck. I shouldn't say too much. He worked for it for a really long time, and then he's now seeing results from it, and it inspired me because I've also been doing this for I can't say I've been doing it as long as him because my first project I didn't put out until 2021, but I was trying to get on singing shows since like 2017. So I've been doing it. It's coming up on 10 years. It's not 10 years yet, but it is coming up. And I had like a singing YouTube channel too when I was like 17. So it is coming up on 10 years, but he's been doing it longer. And his success inspired me. And then I've just been really thinking, like, why did I stop? Because when I got to Atlanta, you couldn't tell me shit. I was so delusional. Like, I really felt like I was going to make it. And I don't know how I feel now. I know I'm going to be successful. I don't know in what way it's going to reach me. I just really believe. I believe in God, and I believe everything is.
If you believe in God, you'll stop being a stripper. I don't think God wants you to be a stripper. I don't know. Like, I'm not religious, but I don't think God has being a stripper in anyone's life plan. Just saying.
Under his timing, and there's only so much that I can do. Because all these things that I'm telling you about, all these opportunities, every day that I got one of these opportunities, it wasn't, yes, I worked for it, and yes, I networked for it, but it was God.
Oh my God.
Every single time. I was like, earlier this year, I was an extra. I did a video for, I made a video about it. I
I
did it
know,
for
you did.
Claire Sorhan, however you say it. I was a background dancer for her. And then the same day, I was a homeless person for Kai Sanat.
And actually, we did not react to those videos of her being the extra and the dancer because it just wasn't entertaining.
Ray for his stream. And I got casted for that just like out of the blue. And oh yeah, I left. I was dating that millionaire guy at the time, but I
Sure,
left him because
sure.
he didn't want to commit to me.
Sure.
But he like, oh shit, this is another story too. There's so much that has happened because it's like when you're at the bottom, you'll get these men that either, oh my god, I got two stories for you. I have two stories for you, and then it's done.
Okay.
When you're at the bottom, people either use your dream to get close to you and fuck you because they can't figure out how to get a woman. So they either manipulate you that way, or they're actually like gonna believe in you and then make you their muse and then tell you all this shit that you have to do because it gives them like a sense of control. The day that millionaire guy told me that I wasn't his girlfriend, I didn't cheat, but I did. I went on a boat with this other guy.
Oh God.
Who was a rapper too, and he was signed to somebody else. I don't fucking remember.
Dude, she sounds like the biggest whore.
And I went on this boat on Lake Lanier, and I didn't have sex with him.
But she did other stuff, which is why she had to clarify I didn't have sex with him.
How do I didn't do anything for him. but he did stuff for me.
Oh God.
But that millionaire boyfriend, I really loved that man. I did. I don't think he ever loved me. He had
She
3
loved his
kids,
money.
3 baby mamas, and I was thinking back on it recently, and I was like, why the fuck did this man just like watch me struggle and dance? And he was like, he was there, sort of, but he really, oh shit, 0 minutes. Fuck. Let me finish this up. Anywho, that guy on the ship, he was telling me, okay, we're back. The guy on the boat,
Oh God.
he was telling me all these things I needed to do for
We're at 49 minutes of her video. It's 55 minutes long, so there's 6 minutes left of her video.
music. And he was telling me about this girl he used to manage who danced at the same club I danced at until she left. And he truly believed he was going to make her blow up. And I think he was thinking the same thing of me. I don't remember what I did to fuck it up, though. It was kind of scary, though. He was like a real control freak. Like, it was, like, honestly, like, kind of scary. Like, you think, like, being on a boat is fun until you're on a boat, and then there's, like, 2 men that work for him, and then he's ordering them around and getting angry at them, and then you're just, like, in a corner wondering when he's gonna, like, lose his shit with you. But I never gave him anything. That's probably what messed it.
Dude, seriously, like, her laugh, let's just say for conversation's sake, she's a 7. Her laugh drops her to a 4.
um...
I'm retarded.
And then I told the millionaire, like, a week later what I did. But he already knew, because I was... I sent him videos of me on the boat that day. Oh... That man was so toxic too. But yeah, it was frustrating because
Yeah, but you're more toxic than him.
he told me that I was the sweetest person that he ever met, and I really
Bullshit.
think I was.
No.
And I
no.
had such an attachment to him because
No.
I felt like he could handle anything. And there was no other man that I met that I felt like could handle every situation.
Such a bullshit.
Because he was like, he was 45. He was older. But he ran like 6 different businesses, some illegal. But I always felt like safe.
Why is she putting his business out there? Why would you even say some illegal? Okay, whatever.
Because I'm telling you, every single problem I had, he was the only one that I felt like knew how to handle it until I got to a point where I honestly felt like I was too smart and it didn't feel like he could handle it anymore. Like, I remember telling him about a certain tax evasion that I had found out about, and he was trying to tell me about how much it didn't matter, and I was like, how the fuck do you think this doesn't matter? Like, this contributes directly to this business's infrastructure and how they're running it. Like, what the fuck do you mean it doesn't matter? Like, this is a sign for a larger problem. Yeah, I was really pissed about that.
That was a word salad.
I did. But I don't think he loved me. I think he was...
No shit, because you're a fucking stripper. And you didn't love him because you don't know what love is. Because if you loved a guy, you'd stop being a stripper. Because a stripper... Okay, let's just pretend you love this guy. Okay, then you're going to quit your stripper job because you don't want to show off what he sees in the bedroom, to make it simple.
Was attached to me, but I think he really just saw me as more of a possession. And when I think back, it's like, why the fuck didn't he like get me out of dancing? I think he was fucking other people. I really do. And even though he told me that I wasn't gonna be his girlfriend, he didn't want me to be with anyone else. Like, it was a very just... But nobody had ever hired a lawyer for me before. Like, that was a big deal to me. And I kind of feel like he did exploit that at the very beginning. Because it was 6 months fresh of that. But him... Oh my god, what was the other story I was going to tell? Fuck. It's going to come back to me. There was someone else that I did. There was the boat.
Man, she's been with a lot of guys.
Oh, recently, actually. This was in October. there was someone who I thought I was friends with, and this is probably my mistake. But then it gets confusing because when people ask you to work late, it's like it's a normal thing. Because I'm used to being writing songs at 3 a.m. And I had one friend, and I mean, you could say he never really did anything inappropriate, but he invited me over and said he wanted to work on music with me, but it was never about the music. And then I like completely trauma dumped on him, and then he was trying to cuddle me but I never saw him that way, and we didn't do any music. He didn't record me. He didn't do shit. And then he was trying to get me in his bed, and I did sit in his bed, and then I sat like all the way away from him, and then he just kept trying to cuddle me, and then I left early, and then he was like, "Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving?" I don't know. I guess I'm still on good terms with him. I haven't spoken to him though, because I just felt like our personalities go together well, but it's like, why did you turn us being friends and us being cool into you making a move on me? And then using music to get me there. I think I went there at midnight, but it was on a weekend, and I was like, "Oh, this will be fun," and it wasn't. It was nice to trauma dump on him though, because then I kind of used him in that sense, but so there was that. Oh, and then recently, one of my producer friends he sent me a template, and I finally figured out how to work it, and now I will never have to go to a studio again. So that's the happy part to this story. But
What? Okay.
yeah, when people tell you about how hard it is to make it in music, the hardest part is just like avoiding the men and
Oh
then
my
having to get
god.
other men to
Okay,
protect you
whatever.
from the bad ones. And it's just
No,
a
no, no,
cycle of men
no,
because the
no,
whole thing
no,
is
no, no,
run
no,
by men.
no, 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 no. The hardest part is you're a stripper, so every man in your life is bad because you've met them through stripping. That's that's her biggest problem. If she would just get rid of that aspect of her life, everything else would be better. But she's too stupid to fix that.
And me already doing the stripping thing, like it's like objectification on another level because I'm already in the sexual atmosphere, but then to be in the music atmosphere, it's like I'm having my identity pimped out.
Sure,
Like different
sure,
people are trying to decide for
sure.
me what I'm going to be,
Okay,
how I'm going to present
sure.
myself to the
Okay,
world. It's the same thing
okay.
with stripping, but then
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
one more thing too that I just remembered. Okay.
And it's over. Her camera overheated. Anyway, that was a bunch of bullshit. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.